Hey students, welcome to another Mr. Ness screencast. Today's aim is immigration policy, and here are your objectives. Please pause the video, look these questions over, and get ready to copy some vocab terms and take some notes. Open immigration policies include laws that promote immigration. Usually governments have open immigration policies when their countries need workers. For example, for all of the 1800s and early 1900s, the United States had an open immigration policy and welcomed most immigrants. And I say most because there were restrictions on people from China and Japan. During this time, America wanted workers for westward expansion and industrialization, and so laws at this time made it very easy for people to immigrate. The opposite of an open immigration policy is a closed or restrictive immigration policy, and these are laws that discourage immigration. Open immigration in the US ended with the Immigration Act of 1924, which set limits on the number of immigrants allowed from different countries. This was an example of a closed policy because its result was to greatly reduce immigration to the US. Note that immigration policy lies on a spectrum. A country or a law is rarely completely open or completely closed. Instead, they're somewhere along the spectrum, with some countries having laws that are more or less restrictive than others. Closed policies can reflect xenophobia, hostility to people from other countries. Sometimes we call this nativism. Xenophobia ebbs and flows with other trends like economic downturns or conflict in other countries. I personally have a hard time understanding xenophobia in America because outside of Native Americans, everyone in America is either an immigrant or is descended from immigrants. Yet xenophobia persists. Despite closed immigration policies, immigrants may choose to defy the law and immigrate to a country anyway, or remain in a country after their legal permission has expired. And these people are referred to as unauthorized, undocumented, or illegal immigrants. And in class, you're going to look at some common arguments surrounding this issue. Let me move this. Now let's look at some ways that governments can respond to unauthorized immigrants. So one possible response is granting amnesty. An amnesty means that the government forgives the crime of illegal entry and gives the immigrant legal status. Often, amnesty is a path of several steps that immigrants must follow to remain in the country, with the final step being citizenship. A different response is deportation. Deportation means expulsion from the country. The government apprehends the immigrant and forcibly returns him or her to their home country. In the United States, deportation is carried out by two departments in the executive branch of the federal government. One is called ICE, Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement, and the other is called the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. In response to the threat of deportation, residents of some U.S. cities have voted to become what are known as sanctuary cities. And sanctuary cities are cities whose local government institutions, like the police, the courts, and the schools, limit cooperation with federal immigration agents. For example, if an unauthorized immigrant is stopped by a police officer while driving, any information taken by the police officer will not be entered into a federal database if they're in a sanctuary city. And the goal of this policy is to protect immigrants from deportation. Sanctuary cities are controversial because they are a local challenge to the power of the federal government. In other words, a city is choosing to disobey federal immigration laws. You may remember from US history that sharing of power between local and federal governments is called federalism, and there have been many conflicts throughout US history over just how much power each side has. There are currently several sanctuary cities in the US. Some examples are New York, New York, Los Angeles, California, and Seattle, Washington. Sanctuary cities have become extremely controversial, with some states going as far as to ban them. Texas, for example, passed a law declaring that the government would fine any city $25,000 for every day that it refuses to cooperate with federal agents. All right, it's time to review the objectives, and if you don't know the answer to any of them, rewind the video and look again. I will see you in class. Bye, students.